Hello, welcome to part 4, try number 2. As you can see, I went ahead and I did my roof, and I did it on the last video, but when I went to convert it over to the right format and stuff and did a little editing so I could speed it up, I lost part of the video. Which doesn't really make me happy, but these things do happen. So what I did for my roof is I just cut the strips of cardboard. And then this is a roof for another one that I've been working on, but I just haven't got there. And what I did was I just started gluing them around, however I wanted them, like that. And then adding them, spacing them out just a little bit. And then of course you'd stack the next row between. And just keep going all the way up around to the top of your roof. So it's basically very easy. It's just putting them on, stacking one on top. And since I'm going for a very rustic look, I wasn't real fussy about that, but if you wanted a really nice one, you could do that. Also, I think at this time, it's a good time to say that if you wanted, at this point, you could cover your roof to look like a mushroom with clay. You could, you could make your shingles out of the clay and use that, and then just go around in the same manner, only using, little slabs of clay that you've cut. What I did also since I left you was I stupidly put a window up here, which isn't a stupid idea unless you do what I did and forgot to leave a way for the light to get up in here. So I've got this little cute little window, but now I've got no light coming through it. And since the jar has a metal lid, I really don't think I can do anything. And since I'd used that paper in there, I don't think there's much I can do to get a light up there, so maybe we'll just do some little shutters and have them closed. That's about all I can do, because I wasn't thinking when I did it. But yeah, it's a cute little window. To make the little thing over the top of the window, I just kind of cut a half round piece. I just rounded it and just hot glued it up there. I also used aluminum foil for the frame up on this window, and I'm still picking up glue strings. Some of them I'm not going to get off because they're already painted, but I painted the whole thing black because and you'll see when you do paint the top black, you're going to get spots where your cardboard's going to show through. Now since this is rustic, I don't mind that so much because it's just going to kind of look like wood showing through. So that's okay for this one. So next up, I guess, since we're past all that, is I'm waiting for my glue gun, which is just about there. Yep, it's there. And I'm going to glue my chimney on. Now you can put your chimney on before your shingles and shingle around them. That's fine, that works. But I'm just going to go ahead and do it this way because I'm going to be adding clay and making a stone look chimney. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm in a different spot. The lighting is a little better, but the clouds are out today, so we're not getting the sun anyway. Not about the rest of you, but this gun gets really hot, and I have a lot of strings for my glue. It's crazy, the amount. And of course, they want to stick to me, not to anything else. But I'm going to go ahead and glue my chimney on. I'm thinking right, I hope you can see I've got my glue gun in the way, I think. Right about here, I want to put my chimney on. And when I go over it with clay and stuff, it will make it really good and solid when I'm done. Okay, and the other thing I did was I made my steps, and what I did was just cut out whatever shape I wanted. Now these are going to be rock steps, so I kind of wanted a more uneven shape. And then I just cut a piece of cardboard to go along the back and bend it so it would fit up against my jar nicely. And we'll glue those in right now. See the glue gun smoking there. Yeah, it gets incredibly hot when it's on the high setting, and then I get really bad glue strings. So that's something to keep in mind. But you got all these glue strings to remove if you have glue gun like I have. I've never had this brand before, so I'm learning. My burn's healing and it's itching so bad. Alright, then the next thing I'm going to do is start with the clay. And I have an air dry clay here that I got off YouTube. And I like it okay, it just doesn't always shape quite like I want it to. Sometimes you gotta struggle just a bit. Oh, and this is damp. Why is that damp? Huh, must be all the water coming out. I've never had that happen with it before. I do like the clay though, I really do. It's an air dry clay. It's kind of a paper clay in a way. So let's just get some of it out here, and I'm gonna start with the rub, putting it over this. Not being perfect, this is supposed to be a rustic house. Did I not bring my favorite tool? I guess I didn't. Just a bit of water to smooth everything a little bit. Get it all so there's no gaps or cracks. And I'm just using some really cheap clay tools that I bought. Because that's what I have right now. As I get better with this, I will probably buy some good clay tools. But for now, this works. Works just fine for me. And you can shape it as you go, or you can go back and shape it. It takes a little while for this particular clay to start drying, so I have time. Get it to come up there and meet in the middle. Which it is now doing. So take your finger, run it in some water so that I have all of this more smoothed down, smooth together. I don't want the lines and the gaps. There we go. It's looking pretty good there. And like I said, this is rustic, so I don't want it, you know, perfectly smooth, perfectly even, anything like that. So we're looking at this now for our window so far. And then I'm going to attempt, I said I was going to do shutters, but I just don't think I'm going to have enough room for shutters. So we'll just put in some, let's put in some little details here to make the, I suppose on a regular window they'd be called mullions. I don't know what they call them on these windows. this point, this clay is kind of, because it got damp, and like I said, I've never had that problem. I don't know if it's where I had it stored, because you don't store it in the fridge. Not real sure about that. Okay, let's try to get one little bright piece. That's kind of cute, just like that, I think. Let's throw one more piece in. As you can see, my clay's a little thin. Not left-handed, so let's see how this goes. Remember, you've always got time to shape things a little bit. Depending on your clay, of course. I've had had some DAS, and it was set up in like no time. If you're wondering why I'm leaving this whole lump of clay sit out here like this, I'm letting it dry out a bit, because I have honestly, like I said, never had it do that to me. I'm just going to take my hobby knife and just going to cut some lines in here to imitate wood, hopefully. I'm shaky, I'm nervous this morning, guys. You gotta go to work later, and just getting very call it tired of my job. I love my job, but I'm a supervisor, and I mean, they expect so much out of us. I'm not just supervising staff, okay? I'm doing most everything, and there's just more and more all the time. And some days I wonder if it's worth it to be a supervisor. I don't feel anymore that I have my own life. I live and breathe my job. And there comes a point when you just gotta say, hey, wait a minute, I want a life. This probably isn't the best job. This clay is super soft right now. This is going to be a very rustic window because the clay just isn't cooperating with me. But I'll take it. It's what it is. I'll take it. It's not going to be a window that's going to light up, so you're probably not going to really see it anyway. Okay, clay is starting to dry, so dry on top, so I'll flip it over. And I'm going to take a chunk off. start on the steps. I don't mind if there's little lumps and bumps in this clay right here because this is going to be a rock. favorite clay tool. This is not working for me at all. Sorry about that. There we go. That's better.